Welcome to Mixtapes. I'm your host, Eric Stengel, and right next to me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. Mark Moots. Moots, what's going on this morning, my friend?
Well, man, I'm already busy. I've been up since the crack of dawn working on making our videos look neat. So that's been fun.
Thank you for that,
Um,
sir.
yeah, absolutely. I think I had a couple things before we get going. One, I think today's a good day to talk about it, but I do want to at least mention there was the news of Bo from Hard Lower Podcast and the band's
Yeah,
Harm's Way. Uh, no longer with us. I really liked his band a lot, and I thought I watched a lot of their content. Like I thought it was a really cool podcast, and it's kind of a huge hit for the hardcore scene in
yeah.
particular. And I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't at least extend uh, condolences and well wishes to his friends and fans and family. And
Yeah.
um,
38 is way too young.
38 is way too young. Yeah, check on your friends.
Absolutely.
Um, I said it before. I will say it again. Hug your friends and tell them you love them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Give them the flowers now.
that's right. So yeah, R.I.P. Bo. And today we're gonna get a little spooky and a little punk rock.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. No, it's gonna be fun. This guy is a good friend of mine. But one of the nicest dudes you'll ever find. And he's got a really cool band if you are into horror punk or like Bay Area punk rock, AFI, etc. His band, The Dark Ride, I think you're going to want to check him out.
Yeah, new record, Blade Manor.
Yep, new record, Blade Manor, first full length. Because I think the previous one was an EP. He'll probably tell me I'm wrong in the nicest way possible. But yeah, today we are going to talk to genuinely my good buddy and hopefully yours, Emilio Menze.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, what are we waiting for? We shouldn't wait for anything. We should bring him on the show right now.
Housekeeping.
Oh, housekeeping. That's right.
Look at this thing up here. It says subscribe.
Yeah,
Please do.
like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Patreon, YouTube. We got some people signing up on Patreon. Thank you so much. We're going to be
Yes.
rolling out some content in the next couple of weeks for sure. We've
Yes.
just been really busy. I mean, we've been really doing a ton of interviews. A ton of conversations. We've been backlogging a lot of stuff. So we've got, we've got at least what 3 months of interviews. I
Dude, I
think
don't even know anymore. I'm just
it's insane.
yeah, we've been talking to a lot of really cool people, and I think man, the conversations have been awesome. And I think no matter what you're into, no matter what your flavor is, I think we got you covered at this point.
I do for sure. And
Yeah.
like you said, the conversations have been great, honestly. And
Yeah.
I know I'm definitely learning a lot of stuff that I didn't know, and I enjoy doing that. And I think you guys do too. And then in this stuff that like I do know a lot about, it's been fun like learning things I didn't know.
Yes.
When you think like, oh, I know a lot about this, and then here's one I'll tell you real quick before we start the show. I got into the Nick Menza um,
Mm.
documentary. I found that one. And this is something I have never heard of before. But before he would play a show with Megadeth, he would douse his hands in Coca-Cola so he didn't lose grip of the sticks.
Oh,
Is that right? I
all
was
right.
like, that is wild. And
That
that
is
was like
kind of
his ritual. He would like douse his hands in Coca-Cola so he could hold on to the sticks better.
that's
Whether he
ridiculous.
was wearing
That's
gloves or
awesome.
not gloves, that's what he would do. And I just thought that was like really interesting. I've
That's
never heard that. You know what I
I
mean?
have never heard of that. That's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah. So for our drummer friends, I thought you would find that interesting. And
Yeah.
let's bring our guest onto the show,
All
ladies and
right.
gentlemen.
Emilio, how are you, man?
Great. Good morning. Great to see you
Awesome. Good
both.
good morning to you. How's the weather in beautiful Santa Cruz, California?
At the moment, it's a little gloomy. It's
Perfect.
like sweatshirt weather, which I like. But recently, it's been kind of like summery. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
The
you got hit with that heat wave like most of California did a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
man. It was bizarre. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's well, it's always lovely there. So even and the gloomy, foggy thing is the best thing.
Oh man.
It's the
Yeah, I love a
best.
light sweatshirt weather.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's get to business. This is bullshit. Um,
Yeah, we're talking too much about the weather, man.
yeah, we're just talking about weather. That's how old I am now. I just talk about the weather.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting. Thank you guys for having me, by the way. I so appreciate it.
Dude, of
Yeah,
course. Of
absolutely.
course.
Absolutely. You want me to start it off with the
I
little
do.
question I always ask?
Yep.
So this is one I always ask everybody because I think it's a pretty interesting question to start to show off with. Do you remember your first music memory that made you want to get involved with music? Where you were like, something just hit you and you're like, I know I'm going to do this.
Man, that is a really good question. Growing up in high school, I mean, off the top of my head, one of my very good friends in high school got really good at guitar really quickly. Um, and I just thought it was so cool how he could learn a song from the radio or whatever. Like he would learn the riff from like Alien Ant Farm, Smooth Criminal, and like play it perfectly, like perfectly palm muted. And I guess I just thought if that was something I could get good at, it would help me meet girls.
Mm.
Because I was always really shy and timid, and like in high school, I had like the worst acne ever. So I was kind of a late bloomer. And once I saw my friend excel at playing guitar, his name was Poison, by the way. Once I saw Poison excelling at guitar, it kind of made a spark. Like, hey, maybe this is something that could give me power and make me feel good, help me come out of my shell.
And for our audio listeners, Emilio has a perfectly clean face now.
Yeah.
I got it
Yeah.
all out of the way when I was young, like all in one
Yeah.
swoop.
No, perfectly smooth complexion.
Thank you.
Well, I think that that's kind of a bit of a common tale for a lot of us musos, I suppose, is like, at least speaking for me too, like I didn't really feel like I fit in anywhere and the confidence thing was not there at all. But once I could kind of, I found playing guitar and music and it gave me, a little bit of a little boost that
Yeah.
nothing else could. And I mean, you can ask Paul Stanley from Kiss. That's why he plays music is girls. So
Yeah.
Well, it gives people a reason to talk to you too. That's the other thing. So like you're not having to like lead into conversations. You know what I mean? If like you're playing and there's a guitar somewhere and you're playing or your buddy's trading licks, whatever, there's other people at the house and they're like, oh wow, he plays? And then they start talking to you. It's like it is a confidence booster for sure. And
yeah.
especially playing in your first band, that's a whole eye-opening experience too, isn't it? You know what I mean? So when did you start playing in your first band in high school? Like what was the instrument did you get a guitar or what you start on?
So that same friend told me that I could teach you bass because it's easier than guitar. There's only 4 strings compared to 6,
Hmm.
and he would need a bass player anyways for his eventual band. So he taught me just like the fundamentals of bass and like punk rock playing, and I was doing all downstrokes. I'm so grateful I learned first with all downstrokes. Um, and then I met some like seniors and juniors in my high school uh, who wanted to start a Misfits cover band, and they needed a bass player. And Misfits are my favorite band, like kind of my bread and butter. So like it kind of fit in, and I was playing with the older kids, so it felt really fucking cool.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and our first show was like, you know, at the school gymnasium.
Oh, so it's
It was
perfect right
terrible.
there.
Awesome. What band was that?
It was called Pre-Dawn Corpses.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it was terrible, man.
No, well, they
But
all are.
Well,
The
they
first
all
band,
are, right?
yeah,
trust me, my first band.
It's very rare your first band is like,
No.
I mean, sometimes that does happen, right? Like I was listening to what's his face, Rob Harvilla, and he was talking about Misery Business by Paramore, and
Hmm.
that was their first band. So that's kind of crazy, but that very rarely happens. I mean, you got to go through a couple of bands before you find your actual band,
Yeah.
if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Typically,
I
you
think
got to
so.
get your feet, your sea
Yeah,
legs, as it were.
100%.
Um, Okay, so you're playing in Pre-Dawn Corpses. What was the next group?
Um, from then, I kind of jammed with a few different friends of mine, but the next group after that was a band called Ambivalence that I was in for about 4 years.
Cool.
And we kind of, I mean, we had a lot of friends, so we had a lot of support at our shows. It was just something for our friends to come and do, just like come see us play.
Mm-hmm.
And we made some small waves in Santa Cruz, but also pretty fairly terrible, but I guess less terrible than the first.
Sure.
Um, but it's kind of funny because on the record Dark Ride just put out,
Mm-hmm.
one of the songs is an Ambivalent song that
Oh,
I
Oh,
re-recorded with their blessing, but it was
sure.
one that I thought was worthy of bringing back from 2003 to now.
Oh, that's
wow.
awesome. Okay. We'll
Wow.
have to circle back to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so I think the first band that I kind of became aware that you were in was Stellar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Stellar Corpse is like, look, I'm gonna be very transparent with you. I don't know much about punk rock, but I know when I hear stuff and I think it's good. So I think that's what counts. Like Eric and I are like old metalhead guys, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I always appreciate the spirit of punk rock, and I didn't realize that Santa Cruz was such like punk rock is really like kind of the lifeblood of that area. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
definitely. More so in the 80s and 90s.
Hmm.
Um, right now, I feel like Santa Cruz is. Um, I think things kind of go up and down, like in a wave. And right now in Santa Cruz, things that are really popular, like lighter music or like some doofus virgin on his laptop pressing play. You know, I at least need real drums. Like I love real
Yeah.
drums. So I just can't get behind some virgin like on his laptop making a ton of money and getting laid, or in theory.
Theoretically, yeah,
Yes.
Theoretically.
allegedly. Well, that makes sense. I mean, um, yeah, I don't think anybody should like fake music. I mean,
No.
what's the point? You know?
Yeah, that I just don't have the software in my head
Yeah,
to to enjoy that or get excited. I gotta have at least real drums, like I said.
yeah, yeah. And it seems like because technology has gotten to the point where now it's so easy that anybody can be sitting in their bedroom with a laptop and they can have loops and write a little 3 chord whatever on, not even that, they can just AI that shit,
Ugh,
and then
yeah.
they can sing but auto tune the piss out of it, and all of a sudden you're a musician, right?
It's like
Like,
it's like you're not working for it. And I know it sounds weird to say that, but it's like a lot of stuff you earn, and you earn through playing and trial and error and stuff like that. And it's like when I see like it's like Suno and some of those other AI programs, and it just I don't know. It makes me mad in the way of like you're not earning it. And it's like there's all different levels. So I'm not saying like everybody has to be a virtuoso, but it's like you got to get out there and play in front of nobody, play in front of a couple people, like, completely crash your songs, have some songs like, well, that wasn't so bad, that type of thing. The camaraderie between musicians, like building that chemistry. And it's like there's no chemistry in this stuff. And it's getting scarier because it's getting it's almost like you kind of can't tell sometimes now with AI, which is getting scary. Also, video, which is not great either. So I applaud your opinion on that because I do feel like I mean, I teach guitar for a living. So it's cool to see kids come in, adults come in, and they get so excited about learning something. And I think that's the thing that's getting pushed away too much is like little Johnny gets a trophy for just showing up. It's like, man,
Yeah.
you put the work in, and it's like, then you really can appreciate when you can play something. You know what I mean? Like that I think is the big thing people are forgetting, unfortunately.
Eric, I couldn't have put it better.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
no, the human element is kind of getting lost in a lot of ways, and I mean that's the point, right? Like music was always kind of the way to express oneself,
Or escape,
or
right?
escape. And
Yeah.
usually it's like kind of your truest version that gets to speak. And when it's ones and zeros,
Yeah,
Not for
100,
me.
Not for
100%.
me either. No, it's like eating nothing, you know.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah,
consuming
yeah,
it
packing
was like
peanuts.
it was like when I caught COVID and I had no taste. That
Yeah.
was the weirdest thing in the world. Like I felt like I was just like eating cardboard, and I knew it was like a
Mhm.
hamburger, but I'm like, this just doesn't taste like anything. That's how I feel with AI music. It's like
Yep.
you hear it and you're just like, cool, And I
Mhm.
think, I mean, it's funny because country music is the one that I think fools me the most, and I won't go
Mhm.
any farther with that. But let's keep on with you,
Let's keep on. Yeah,
because
we're here to talk about you.
yeah, because let's continue in the timeline. But I'm excited to talk about Blade Manor when we get a chance. But let's
Yes, yeah,
continue let's
we're
continue
gonna.
in the timeline. So you're out of high school, obviously playing, right? And then you're just progressing, and then like when let me ask you this. When do you start realizing you're getting better at your instrument? And are you dabbling with guitar at this time too? Like writing wise, or is it just I just have a bass and I'm the bass player? Or are you thinking to yourself like, hey, I want to say more, I want to play another instrument, or I want to do vocals, like, am I singing at this point yet? Like take us through where you're at in that little part of your life.
Sure. So basically by senior year, I just became obsessed with all things band, just with playing gigs, with rehearsals, with writing. I love to write. Even though I didn't really know how music works or songwriting works so much, I kind of still don't, but I think that kind of gives me an edge to write outside the box.
Mhm.
Sure.
Um, but I became so obsessed with playing gigs and how it made me feel and how much fun it was that my grades started to dip and I basically dropped out my senior year um, because I'm just obsessed with playing. And I remember my mom asking me like, "What's going on? Are you on drugs?" And I was like, "No, I'm just so in love with this life now." And I already had a job working at a movie theater, so I was making my own money and had my own car. Um, so I became obsessed with it, and because I liked writing so much, I did pick up guitar and was slowly learning just like power chords. And I love like palm muting patterns, like vamp, 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 vamp. Like just something simple like that is so cool to me, and it's always resonated with me,
Hmm.
especially with a big metal tone. Like I love when punk rock has metal guitar tones and metal drums. It's so much more powerful.
Hmm.
Yes.
Um, so I just started to dabble in like in rhythm guitar. And like learning how to do like the John Christ squeals from Danzig. I always thought that was such a cool little
Nice.
trick. Just little things that
Yeah.
like as a teenager, you're like, whoa, that's neat. Pick slides and reverse pick slides and dive bombs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so I was this is like towards the end of Ambivalence. We've done a lot locally, but weren't touring, and it seemed like the wheels were falling off a little bit. And at the same time, there was another local band rising called Stellar Corpses that had an upright bass player and is technically psychobilly mixed with punk rock.
Mhm.
Um, and we became really good friends because we're all like kind of horror movie kids. And eventually they needed a rhythm guitarist, and Ambivalence kind of imploded. And it was kind of just nice timing. I went from one band to the other in, I don't know, less than 2 weeks, and had my first gig like playing guitar live in Corona at the showcase. Have you played there, Mark, or been there?
Man, I think so. Probably 25 years ago, but yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah.
that sounds really familiar. I'm
Yeah. It's
almost
a really cool
positive.
place.
Yeah.
It's gone now, but a ton of punk and metal bands went through the showcase in Corona.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, okay. How long were you doing? Because Stellar ran for a while, didn't it?
Yeah. Stellar started in 2005 and ended in 2019, and I joined right at
Mm.
the end of 2006. So I was
Okay.
in it for about 14 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And like
Yeah.
touring and like doing the goddamn thing. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
actually, yeah.
We toured all over the US. We toured in Europe. We toured in Mexico. We played one show in Mexico City.
Okay.
But yeah, it was wonderful, and they were all my best friends, and it was like summer camp.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, I saw you here, I believe that like it was Stellar and then you were playing for Argyle.
Yes, at Jub Jubs, right?
That Jub Jubs, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Double duty. Good for you. Okay, so Stellar like had a bit of a name though. Like it seemed like you guys were doing things, I guess, like real things, and that didn't work out.
No, you know, I want to say like 2/3 through the band's um, how do you say it? 2/3 through the band's
Like
when the
life
band was
cycle.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah, cycle. Thank you. I felt like we had some good momentum behind us because we put out a full length record.
Mhm.
That had a really good producer and engineer on it who had worked with like Blink 182 and Alkaline Trio. He worked with Morrissey and even with like BB King. His name was
Oh
Joe
wow.
McGrath.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like the nicest dude, and him and I gelled so well in the studio and like loved going through guitar tones together because I
Mm.
wanted the fucking meanest but most clear guitar tone, which I got through a Diesel amp at the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I tried out everything. Anyways, so he kind of helped us get a lot of notoriety that we wouldn't have normally. But the problem was that after that record came out, I felt like we didn't something went wrong where we didn't follow through enough. Either we didn't tour enough or the record didn't get heard by the right people or enough people. I don't really know, but it just didn't work out that well. And then after that, we were kind of floundering for the last few years. And again, the wheels kind of started to come off. And I think we all thought of Stellar totally differently. Like all my bandmates and I thought of it as a different band than each other. And like we didn't agree on which direction to take it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a long time too, if you think about it. It's like I think most bands have like what a 4-year cycle before things start falling apart, and then the ones that are meant to be together longer, or the ones that had the more drive, they last longer. But I mean, you're talking like what, 15 years, something like that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a long time, and especially, I've had experience playing in bands too. It's like you get to the point where it's like you have to take that next step, and every month that you don't is a month closer to the foot in the grave for the band, in my
You're
opinion.
so right.
Because you get so complacent, and then it's like you're the big fish in the small pond, but you need to be the small fish in the bigger pond. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't go that way, things happen. Especially with you saying how everybody kind of had a different mindset of what the band was supposed to be doing. That's almost time to go. All right, maybe I do need to move on somewhere else. But being in the band for so long, it's like being in a relationship where you're like, but I don't want to leave this. But like it's not growing. It's not when people are moving in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
So you were in that band until 2019.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then okay, all right. So let me ask
You
you
know, it
this.
reminded me.
Go ahead.
There's it kind of reminded me of like if you see a car driving in front of you and it's swerving all over the road instead of the car going straight.
Yeah.
That's what the end of Stellar reminded me of. It was just kind of aimless and there was no vision to drive it forward.
Sure,
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Let me ask you this. It's not off topic, but I think it's an interesting question because I know people that were bass players that turned into guitar players and vice versa. You consider yourself more of a bass player or more of a guitar player?
More of a bass player. Yeah.
More of a bass player. Okay. I
I
was just
love
curious about
both.
that. You love both though. That's good.
Yeah, I'm
That,
more comfortable in the bass, and I love a funky bass line, man. I love when a lead or any like bass run, like man, I love that shit. It's so
nice.
cool to me.
Yeah. Well, bass, I think a lot of people don't, because good bass playing, it can stand out and like blow your mind, or it's so good that you don't even notice it.
Yeah. Until you're
It's
really
Yeah,
like,
listening, right? And then when you start
yeah, it's,
listening, you're like, oh,
yeah, it's like, oh shit. Like,
yep,
I didn't realize that actually the things I'm hearing are all coming from not the guitars,
right.
even tone wise.
yes,
Yeah.
Like a
Oh my
lot of
God.
times, guitar tone soloed isn't great. You put that bass underneath it, and it's like, oh, there it is.
Everybody working together
exactly.
in the EQ chain. That's the truth for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. It's a cool thing. I think bass is slept on often, and I have talked shit about bass playing on the show, but I I just do that to annoy people. It's not that I mean it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, so I think I know where we're almost at, but I do want to touch upon a few things that I find really interesting about you. Um, movies. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I I mean, when I first met you, it was like I think that was mostly what we ended up kind of chatting about was like horror movies.
And do you
Um,
remember when we first met?
it was your birthday.
Yes, a toga party. It was my
Yes,
30th birthday, almost
that
10 years ago.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was not in a toga.
I was gonna
No,
say I can't picture you in a
Mm.
toga.
No, I was not.
but you did
Yeah,
come all the way from Reno.
yes, yeah. We came down. It's my first trip to Santa Cruz, and I got to meet you and Jesus and all sorts. It was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really
Yeah.
fun.
But I
Um,
definitely remember bonding with you over movies. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what the reason I'm bringing that up is because one of the things I do really enjoy about Dark Ride is they're in there. Like the movies are a big part of what you're doing. And I'm jumping the line in conversational flow, but I feel okay about it. It's whatever. I really like the kind of video store movie theater like B movie popcorn feel of a lot of the lyrics, and I mean that with all the love in my heart. I really do. I think it's super cool because there's a lot of people that can relate to that, um and especially with the imagery you're using. And I'm jumping all over the place, Eric. This is a mess.
No, I think
Anyway,
yeah, I feel like you're on point to a degree.
yeah, I'm getting back on point. um okay, so Stellar falls apart.
Thank you, by the way.
Oh, no, well, there'll be more. Don't worry about
So appreciate it, man.
it. Stellar doesn't happen anymore, but you not only start your own band, uh, but you are like, I'm going to sing.
Yeah.
You've never really done that before. Am I correct?
Kind of. I'd sang in the another Misfits cover band from San Francisco called Plan 9. It's been
Yeah.
around forever. So I kind of like got my sea legs a little bit there,
Okay.
at least with the confidence. And like, like singing 30 Misfits songs in a row back to back is not easy. Um,
No?
yeah, it was like running a marathon. So that helped kind of get started. Um, but yeah, so Stellar ended. We had a gigantic fight with the singer and it was really nasty. And that's why we quit. We didn't quit
Yeah.
because we couldn't agree on which direction to go. We quit because of the singer.
Mm-hmm.
He ruined it, and he's a terrible person. He's in jail right now.
Oh,
All right, well there you go.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
awful. So we quit, and then me and all the Stellar guys remained friends. But I really felt like I still had more to say artistically. And I was also feeling lost and super fucking angry too. I felt like something I'd worked on for 14 years was taken from me.
Yeah.
And now it wasn't only taken, it was totally tainted because of this guy's actions, the singer. It's really shitty. He basically did the worst thing you could do. I'll leave it at that. And he's in jail.
It's coming back to me. I do remember hearing this story.
Yeah.
We won't get into it, but
Yeah.
Garbage person.
yes, trash person.
So, I always have like a song or two kind of bouncing around in my head. So I just put effort forth to start recording and working on it before I had a name for the band or anything. I just felt like I still had more to say, and this is how I express myself. And fuck anybody making me feel this way.
Mm-hmm.
Never again.
Yeah. Well, I think that a lot of times. So speaking, one of the things I thought of while you were talking is like I've had bands, do things and then go away and do things, and
Mm-hmm.
I have been in a band since I was like 15 years old. That's a very long time at this
Awesome.
point. Um, I don't know how to not do this. Like I am at the core of my person. I'm a band guy. Like more than
Yes.
I'm a guitar player or singer or whatever. I'm in a band because that's how I need that, you know. And I don't know if you feel that way, but I kind of I guess that you can relate to that because you're a lifer. Like you're dedicating yourself to being this. And I think that's admirable. I mean, I've been doing it too. So
Yeah, you
um,
have. badass, dude.
Well, and a
Yeah,
lot,
No, I feel the same way.
well, and a lot of it too, it's like I think we've all been there and felt that way too,
yeah,
especially when a band breaks up and whatnot. And it's like sometimes as weird as it sounds, it's almost like the best motivation to push forward because you do have that those feelings that you can put into something else, another project, or like you said, writing material, and then the direction kind of becomes not cloudy anymore. And then like you have a different vision. And then like you're starting the band, so you're kind of like steering the ship. And we've all been in bands where we've been the captain essentially. And the responsibility is more on your shoulders, whether you like that or not. Some people love that because whatnot, but then I think, at the same time, you can get burned out when it is on your shoulders too, right? Um, so you start doing that, you start writing. I want to ask you this question. I'm just really curious. Um, when did you believe you could sing? Like, when did you feel like you had that confidence to go, hey, you know what? I am a singer. Because I know that's one of the hardest things if you're not somebody that was trained to sing, right? Like, if you weren't in choir as a kid or whatever, like, I always wonder how, because there's people that hate their own voices and whatnot. Like, Hendrix hated his own voice, and I liked his voice a lot. But, like, when did you kind of go, you know what? Like, I know I can do this. Do you remember that moment?
It still hasn't happened, Eric.
What? Well, I'll tell you right now, man, from what I heard, I dug quite a bit. So
yeah.
you can sing, my friend. So if that's the
Thanks, man.
validation you need,
I think that's the right answer though, because I feel the same way.
do you?
And yeah, no, we were just talking to Brian Fair from Shadows Fall, and he said the same thing.
He did. Yeah, he did.
I think that most singers, there is this kind of bravado and like, you know, stage presence and confidence, but there's also a little bit of like, I don't know what's going to happen today.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a hard thing for you
is it going to
guys.
work today?
Yeah,
Because with guitar, I mean, with an instrument, period, it's outside of you,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but your voice is you.
yeah.
And it can be affected by the tiniest little
The
things.
weather, if you're
Yep.
sick. I mean, there's
Yep.
so much. I mean, guitar, I have those days where I don't play as good as I want to play,
Sure.
but I still can play and get through the show.
Yeah.
The tone might suck, my monitor might be bullshit, like all those things that happen, but yeah, singing, like you could literally be like, if you have allergies,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's so many variables,
Yep.
which I don't think
Yeah.
a lot of like, which I love about this show, Emilio, is we kind of break down the walls and we kind of pull away the curtain a bit. And I think for the people that like the show that are not musicians, it kind of gives more of a different perspective, listening
Hmm.
forward, in my opinion. Because when you hear some of these guys and girls talk about these things, and you realize, like, oh, wow, if you're not a musician, even if you are a musician, but if you're not a musician, you kind of realize, like, I didn't realize I went through that much stuff. Oh, I didn't realize, like, hey, touring and the van breaking down and this and that, and our per diem sucks, and we need to make this much money to put gas in our van to get to the next show. And I think because everybody's like, oh, you playing a band, that must be awesome. And you're like, yeah, it is. But there's a lot of other bullshit
Sometimes.
involved. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to
Yeah.
get paid by the venue? I mean, there's so much like, oh, fucking blah, blah, blah. Forgot the merch back
Hmm.
in wherever you live. And now we have no merch on the road. And like, there's so much. I mean, it's,
Well, not to mention if you're the band dad, right?
yeah,
Like heavy lies the crown for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
because you are carrying
yes.
all of it. It's your vision. But you're the one who's doing everything. Even if you delegate, you're the one who cares probably more than anyone else because you
Yes.
made this happen, right? Um,
You're like the quarterback, so you get the most
yep.
shit, and then you get the most accolades.
Yeah,
And
the
it's like you
buck
got to learn,
stops
yeah,
there.
you got to learn how to balance them, both of those things,
Indeed.
which is
Yeah.
tricky. Which is tricky.
Yeah, that is true. Um,
Yeah.
okay, so you're writing songs.
Couldn't have said it better, by the way. I completely agree. Um, and like this whole thing, man, like, I mean, I enjoy the long drives, chatting with my bandmates. I
Mhm.
enjoy the load in. I enjoy setting up the merch. Every piece of what we do, aside from the fun stuff on stage, I do enjoy, but it hasn't come without sacrifice,
Yes, yes.
jobs, my education, my personal life, etc. It all, um, but man, it's so much fun. It just reminds me of being at summer camp.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think there's a bit of Peter Pan in all of us who continue to do this. You know what I mean? Um, and I think balance is important, but like who you are,
Right.
and kind of what you want and why you're here. And so when somebody is that clear on their vision and what they want out of life, and they just go all in, you have to respect it.
I think so. I
Yeah.
You
think
know,
so.
I think it's an admirable thing to, especially in this day and age where music is like, what did Brian call it? We're just cloth merchants
Yes.
slinging cloth
Yes. I love
because
that line.
you're just a t-shirt salesman.
Salesman.
That's
Um,
what I always tell people. Bands
yep,
make money from the merch, from the t-shirts. It's not
yep,
the music. It's
yeah,
t-shirts.
Not
And
anymore.
I do really enjoy that aspect too. Like I do love designing merch, and it makes me
hmm
happy when we sell out of a shirt design, or if people dig the new stickers or whatever. I think all that stuff is really cool.
Well, okay, watch this. I'm going to actually go somewhere. Um, it's because you guys have you have a vibe and an aesthetic, and it is that sort of horror retro thing. And I think that, especially coming from Santa Cruz, honestly, I mean, Lost Boys, and it all clicks in a really cool way. And there is like the Misfits tie-in for sure, but it's also different. Um, and it seems like you're doing something, and you have a look and a voice and a style that is kind of your own, even with the influences that you carry.
Yeah, thank
Does
you.
that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I appreciate that, and I agree. And I do think a lot about Santa Cruz, and even like the small suburb of Santa Cruz that I grew up in, Aptos,
hmm
when I'm looking for inspiration or ideas for songs or imagery. And I do definitely try to hit the nostalgia bone with the 80s and 90s, because that's just shit that I like, and that's
Yeah.
authentic to me.
Well,
And
yeah.
I think it's cool just as a fan.
Well, it's big
Well,
too. I mean, Jesus, like between Stranger Things and like all these videos and whatever. I mean, like they always they always say it's like the 20-year cycle, but it feels almost like the 30-year cycle nowadays.
mhm.
So like it seemed like in the 90s, 70s was popular and that type of thing. But I see a lot of like right now teaching guitar, I see a lot of like early 90s music coming through the door now. Like it's crazy how much of
Yeah,
that stuff I'm teaching. And the 80s is still, and it's funny because people are really intrigued with the 80s. And I'm going to say what more late 80s than
sure.
early 80s. They're very intrigued with, like, it's real interesting. So it's like you're almost doing the right thing, even though you're not doing it on purpose. You know what I mean? Like you're doing it because that's where it comes from. But it's just like, hey, it just works. You know what I mean? And I think the imagery thing too is almost perfect because think about like if you're a singer songwriter and you're touring, like you're not a good salesman because not a lot of people are buying singer songwriter T-shirts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're really like they're really, and here's the horrible thing is they're really hoping you buy vinyl, but as we all know, there's not a big markup on vinyl. Like when someone sees you, like, oh my God, you're selling a vinyl for $35 or this and that. And it's like when they realize how much it costs to make vinyl, like you're not making hardly any money on that. I mean, that's like peeling back the curtain again. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
having that imagery where you can make cool t-shirts that people might just want to buy just anyway. I mean, that definitely has got to help you guys out also, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yeah. And man, if I had my way, I would do t-shirts, hoodies, hats, tote bags. I would do everything I could. It'd be like Spaceballs, the merchandise store.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But merch is so much money up front. But it's
Yeah.
funny you mentioned the vinyl, because we did press Blade Manor on vinyl, but
hmm
goddamn, just the shipping alone to get it from the pressing plant
Yeah.
in Poland to here
Yes.
costs so much more money than when I pressed the first EP. And it's just like, this is a labor of love.
Yeah. And then if you do different
Totally.
color vinyl and stuff like that, that costs
They
more. And
did they
like,
like glow in the dark vinyl.
oh,
Yeah, we
that's
did the glow in the dark.
rad. That's
So cool.
rad. Yeah. See?
Okay.
Go ahead.
So let's go back to the first EP. We'll
Sure.
see. It's just a rabbit trail,
It's
dude.
all right
You
though.
gotta.
I think
No,
I
this is
think
fun.
folks are still with
Great.
us. I think they're
Yeah,
still
I
with
hope
us.
so. So you're writing the stuff, and you kind of bring some friends together, I assume, and you record the first EP, and that's DIY. Period. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So again, like labor of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny, man, because there's a song on the first EP called Antihero,
Hmm.
and I'd originally written it all on the E string, like all of it. And then right before, so we record the drums, but right before we record the bass and the guitars, one my engineer says, "Hey, can you try getting in the vocal booth and singing this just to make sure you can sing in this range?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I try it, and there was no fucking way. It
Oh
was,
no.
but there was no way I could sing in that range. So we had to rewrite the whole song in A, and then it was easy. But it was just like, oof, I'm so lucky. And this was another learning experience for being a singer. I'm so lucky that we tried it first before
Yeah.
like
So
recording the
like
drums
wait,
and
so like
or the
on the
bass.
fly you're rewriting it in the studio?
We just had to move everything to the A string.
Okay. But you had to
Yeah.
re-record everything though. No, I mean not the drums,
No,
but
because
go ahead.
we didn't record the bass or the guitars yet, and I'm saying thank
Oh, good.
because that would have cost so much time and more money.
Yep.
Hmm.
But just little things that I wouldn't have thought of. Like in my room, I could sing along to it, but like actually singing, belting out, no way.
Yeah, it's totally. So were you guys like doing band rehearsals for this stuff? So that's why you hadn't done it? Okay. Okay, that
No,
makes
I
sense.
just hired a really talented drummer named Henry who also did Blade Manor, most of the songs on Blade Manor.
Mm.
Just a local guy, friend of mine, and so we would jam them for the drum's sake, but I wouldn't be singing along with it.
Oh,
Probably not the best. I would do it differently now, but
sure.
um, yeah, but it
It's
all worked
okay.
out.
Yeah, no, it did. It really did. Isn't it weird how sometimes if something's too high, if you actually transpose it up, it gets easier to sing because
Yeah,
you move your voice down? Eric probably knows why because he's like an actual musician, but um that's a real thing. Like I know we've struggled with it before where it's like we're already tuned, we tune really low. We're tuned to B,
oh yeah,
but like sometimes that means I have to sing stupidly high
Right.
because
right.
we're so low. I have to be way up here to get that melody to work. And
Well,
I,
that's a Sabbath thing. You know that, right?
yeah, yeah.
So do you know the story, Emilio? This is hysterical.
Mhm.
So Tony Iommi didn't like how high Ozzy sang. So he figured, well, if they tune down lower, Ozzy will sing lower, and then Ozzy just sang higher. So that's how, I mean, literally, Sabbath is the first band that's really tuning down low. I
Yes.
mean, by Masters of Reality, they're in C sharp, and that's
Yep.
only because of that. And I
Well,
mean,
and his fingers.
well, his fingers, but well, he was playing eights gauge
Yeah.
strings. Did you know that?
Yeah.
That blew my
Yeah.
mind. But they're the first band that tuned down lower, and that's I think really what started that whole because a lot of people were influenced by Sabbath. There was
Sure.
one of those things like, oh, I could tune down lower. Oh, I can, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that
Hmm.
evolution of music. You start realizing things you can do when you hear somebody do it, and then that
Yeah.
makes you go, well, what if I could do this too on top of that? And that's when you have a bunch of different styles and genres pop up, you know?
Yeah.
Super cool.
So anyway,
So
that is a thing.
yes, so you release the first EP, limited release DIY thing, and then you go out and start doing the damn thing again. Yeah.
Well, kind of. It was tough because we released it like right in the middle of COVID,
Mm.
Oh,
which was good and bad. It was good in the sense that everybody was home and wanted new music content. So we had a music video and the
Mhm.
EP come out, and I felt like word spread really fast because I'd been kind of quiet for a while, and also just everybody's home, like not doing anything.
sure.
But we couldn't play your tour yet
Yeah.
for a while, and eventually, things opened up a bit with the lockdown, and we were able to do some gigs. But man, like I look back at those gigs, and I wish I could go back and do them now with how much more comfortable I am with singing. I'm also using in ears now, which helped
Oh,
me
cool.
hear my voice so much better
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of relying on the monitor and the wedges. Like, yeah.
That's
Wow.
interesting
That's,
too, because
yeah.
a lot of bands don't do that early on, especially in your scene. So I hate in-ears personally, but I'm not a singer. When you started doing in-ears, you could hear yourself better, but like, what's the difference between interaction with the crowd and like, does it feel weird because it almost feels like you have headphones on and you can hear things clearer, but did you miss that stage sound vibe at the same time?
That's a good question. You know what? It makes me feel like how I feel when I sing in the shower, like those good shower acoustics where I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I have such control over my voice. What was happening was when before I was using in ears, I kept blowing out my voice. My voice kept cracking. I blew my voice out so bad at the fucking whiskey in Hollywood. It was so
Uh,
embarrassing. The second time we played, because the monitors were just not happening for
yeah.
some reason. So, um, but so now that I'm using the monitors, I'm not blowing out my voice. I'm not straining. I have way more control, and I could be more melodic.
Sure.
Sometimes I'll take one of my in ears out if
Hmm.
I really want to hear the drums. But no, man, like compared to how much more control I have, and I don't have the fear of my voice cracking or breaking permanently like during the set, compared to like missing a little bit of the crowd interaction. I think it's it's done very well for me. It's
Sure.
worth it, is what I'm trying to
Sure.
say.
Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So you start playing out a bit. How did you end up getting you went overseas?
Yeah. Um, so my old band, Stellar Corpses, toured Europe in 2008. I was like 21, and we toured Europe for 5.5 weeks. It was an absolute wild dream and fun and crazy. Um, I was 22 technically, but so I kept in touch with someone there named Torsten who owns a record label that specializes in horror punk,
Mm,
and we've just been friends ever since. And once Dark Ride came out, we were talking more and more, and he would ask like, "What's the next? When's your next music coming out?" And we would just keep in touch about it. I originally wanted to make another EP. I really like EPs. It's so much easier to write 5 or 6 good songs opposed to 12.
yes,
Sure.
sir.
Sure.
um,
Yeah, same.
but he talked me into doing a full length, and yeah, the rest is history. Oh, sorry to answer your question. So the record was supposed to come out last summer, and part of the deal was we would get to play the WGT in Germany, which is like the world's biggest goth festival. Like people
Hmm.
from all over the world come to Leipzig, Germany to celebrate this goth festival. It's been happening for over 20 years. It's super fucking sick. Um, so the deal was my record would come out right before, and the record release would be at the WGT at our show.
Oh, cool.
Um, but things at his record label kind of changed and were in flux at the time. So the record didn't come out on time, but I'd already had a contract to come play this show. Um, and it was a dream come true because I'd wanted to go back since I was 22, and I'm 40 now, and I finally got to do it.
Yeah.
And man, it bothered me that it took so long to return because, like, as you know, like the fans in Europe, like music fans are so like their affinity for punk rock, rock and roll, and metal is so rad
Yeah.
and
Yes.
like powerful, and
Yes.
it's so respected and loved there. And I feel
Hmm.
like America is big time missing that right now.
Totally agree. Um, it's a different, it's just a whole different vibe over there.
Yeah,
Like, because like even when my old band we were touring and like metal was pretty big at that point and the shows were cool and like everything was good, but then when we got over to the UK it was like, oh no, they just love everything and like they don't even know who you are and they're like into it.
I feel like
yes,
if you're good over there, they'll like you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I feel like there's a lot less, I don't want to call it gatekeeping, but there's a lot
Hmm.
less fear of like saying you like this band or like this or like that. I feel like South America's the same way. I mean,
Probably.
South
yes,
America is just insane. You know, every time I see something with South America, it's like, good Lord, I want to put a band back together and just go play there. Like, it's just,
yeah,
Seriously.
it's
Yeah.
wild, dude. You know, but like, the festival you played, Mark, where
Mm.
you're playing with like Mr. Big and then
Yep.
Priest and like just all these different bands that make no sense to play on the same bill together,
Totally.
but it all
Yeah.
works. You know what I
No, it
mean?
was everything from Mr. Big to Watain. you
And
know.
then you can't do that
So
here. And nothing against, it's
Hair metal to
nothing against
black metal.
America. Nothing against America. You can't do that here.
No.
You can do that there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. No, it's pretty magical over there. I love it. And
Magical.
I remember you guys were telling us when we saw you last that the show was amazing, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. We were really well rehearsed by then, and we'd really been working hard on our vocals. My guitarist Rob does a lot of like the high harmonies with me, and so him and I work really hard together just on vocals.
hmm.
And by then we were so sharp, and it just everything went according to plan for once. God damn, like no problems for
What's
once.
that like? No.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. That sounds
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
How
But yeah,
cool.
it was a blast, man.
That's so cool, man. I'm really happy that you got to do that. And okay, so Blade Manor. That brings us around. See, I got there,
You
Eric.
did get there.
um first thing I have to know is who painted that.
Oh man, it's so funny you mentioned that, Mark, because I get so many compliments on the album artwork on the
Killer.
cover. Yeah, I'm so glad you like it. My friend Jesse Hart, who's this killer tattoo artist,
Okay.
actually from Fresno, but I
Hmm.
happened to meet her at a horror movie convention in Ohio randomly.
Yeah.
Um, and like to be honest with you, like whenever I hire an artist to do some artwork for the band, and they send me like the first draft or like the first image of it, I'm always like kind of cringing to look at it because I'm so fucking picky. I'm probably not gonna like it. I'm gonna ask for a lot of changes, and I don't know, I just hate being an inconvenience. But she sent me a video of the finished painting, and I was at work, and it literally just brought a tear to my eye.
Oh,
Like how
wow.
you can see like the kind of translucent cartilage of the bat wing,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, this is so much better than I thought. And she did it so fast, and it was just like goddamn beautiful. And yeah, there's no AI there. I promise you that.
No, I
Nice.
can
That's
tell.
awesome.
It looks organic and it's great. I mean, and it really sets the album up well.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
it looks like it sounds,
Thanks, guys.
which I think is really important. Always like album art should paint the picture and set a vibe for you for what you're about to get into. And I've certainly purchased albums in the past where it was like, this looks like this, and it's not that.
Oh,
And it's
yes.
just cool. Well, I almost bought a Grateful Dead album once because I thought the cover was cool.
Oh
And
no.
luckily for me, and like 15-year-old me, record store guy that I was going to buy it from looked at me and like looked at my, I don't know, probably Dio shirt or something and was like,
You're not
"You
gonna
like
want
the
this.
Dead?" I was like, "I don't know." And he was like, "No."
Let me take this from you.
Yeah, he
You
like
want
took
this
it from
instead.
my hands and he's like, go try again. And I
That's
was like,
awesome.
okay. So thank you, record store guy.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
gem of a person.
dude, I'm telling you, they're salt of the earth sometimes. Um, so the album itself, like it sounds great. The production's really, really good.
It really is.
You guys sound like you sound rehearsed. You sound like a band at this point, which I think is really cool. Um, I also like that, as I alluded to earlier, I can hear what I assume are some of your influences, but I also hear things that I'm not sure are your influences. Um, like in the first song, there's like a little bit of Killing Joke that I hear,
Mm.
and I don't know if you listen to Killing Joke, but like the vocal line is kind of Jazz Coleman, and I was like, that's really cool.
Ah,
Um, and if you don't listen to Killing Joke, please do. They're incredible post-punk band that you should probably know about. But there's like, and to be fair, I've been sending your album to like all my friends who are like into punk,
oh, thank you.
and all of them are like, "Who the fuck is this? Why did I not know about this?" And I'm
Ah.
like, "Okay." So I'm doing market research for you and guerrilla tactics. Um,
Mark it research.
yes, yeah. Thank you,
Dun-dun-dun.
thank you. Um, the
Thank
video
you.
for Rewind is really, really cool. And it brings us back to that video store horror vibe that is and it's like it's perfect. Like it fits the song great. It looks awesome. Was that someone local that you worked with, or like?
Oh, for the music video?
Yes.
Kind of, yeah. So my drummer, my director lives in Salt Lake City, and he's done
Okay.
all the Dark Ride stuff,
Cool.
including one video that's going to be out in maybe a week or so. I'm not
Hmm.
sure, but yeah, I always just hire him, and he either flies out or drives out. We shot that in Phoenix, Arizona, at this big horror movie museum slash store called Terror Trader.
Okay.
Um, that's super cool, and yeah, I just thought the song is vivid, and I
Hmm.
thought I could do a lot with the imagery of it, and I basically just wanted some '80s babes raising hell and doing wacky shit, and with
Yeah.
us rocking out.
No, it's perfect. I mean, it's everything. Again, you have this kind of cohesive vision thing that just makes sense. And so when you released that video and I watched it, I was like, yeah, of course. Like, of course, that's exactly what that should be.
Thank
Plus
you.
it's really catchy, and I mean it's a good tune.
Thanks, man.
Um Speaking of Santa Cruz, Seascape Sam Sawin, to pronounce it like Glenn would want you to.
That's
Um,
right.
so that's a tip of the cap to your hometown, I imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Seascape around Halloween when I was a kid was like off the hook. Like it was the neighborhood that like all the kids from surrounding towns would have their parents drop them off at.
Mm,
So I wanted an homage to that, and I wanted kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas. Danny Elfman meets the Misfits.
yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think that sums that up like kind of perfectly. Um, I don't know, man. I think that what was the old song, the ambivalent song that you guys pulled
Oh,
back?
Ruin.
Oh, okay. That was not going to guess that, but okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a super cool record, and I think you did a great job. And I'm not
Thank you.
saying that because you're my friend,
Thank you.
like because I wouldn't.
See, I can say that because I just met you today,
Yeah.
and Mark turned me. He's like, "Hey, check out the record, blah blah blah." And I remember texting him. I'm like, "Really catchy." Like right off the bat. And I listen
Yep.
to it in headphones. I pretty much listen to almost anything in headphones.
Mhm.
And it just, I don't know, it's just really catchy. It was like song after song after song. I was just like, yep, 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 yep. I mean, really smart melodies
Mhm.
vocally.
Thank you.
That was one of the things I caught on to right away. Like, and I didn't know what you did. He just told me you're going to be on the show. So I didn't know if you played bass or guitar or drums, or I had no idea. We don't have a lot of singers on
Yeah.
that I can think of. So,
Eh,
um, well, we do, but not as
no,
much as,
there's been quite a bit actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. See, I don't know what I'm talking about,
It doesn't matter.
but but vocally, I was like, this makes sense. And to the music, it's not just your typical punk rock type of vibe with the vocals. I think it opens up the sound a lot more, and I think it makes it accessible for a lot of people too that maybe wouldn't
Mhm.
be into that genre of music, and then kind of go, this is kind of cool. And because there's always bands like that for everybody, right? Like you might not be into a certain style of music, but you hear this one band, you're like, that band's badass. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah.
And it might not still get you into that genre of music, but it's like you'll still listen to that if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I feel like you have that
Yeah.
chance. What's the future hold for you guys? I mean, you guys going to try to get overseas again? Are you trying to do like a little U.S. tour, regional type of stuff in the U.S.? What are you guys looking at?
I very much would like to return to Europe and do more than one show.
Right,
Um,
right.
if I had my way, we would do a big tour all over Europe, and I would also love to go to South America. Um, that like you mentioned earlier, that would be such a cool dream. It would have to be right, and it would have to be safe for us.
Sure, sure.
But that would be really wonderful. I don't really want to tour in the U.S. unless we're going with a bigger band that's more established.
Yeah.
Because if Dark Ride were to tour by ourselves, I feel like maybe the weekends would be okay, but during the week we'd be playing dive bars to nobody. It's
Yeah,
just
Mhm.
how it goes, and
sure,
I can't do that nor afford that. I mean, I have a day job.
sure.
Um, but yeah, besides that, I just I want to. I'm hoping that this record opens more doors for us and gets us more opportunities. Um, I just want the challenge right now is getting people to listen to it because I do believe it's good,
Mm-hmm.
and I also think that no matter who you are, what genre you like, or even if you don't like heavy music whatsoever, there's going to be something on this record that moves you,
Yeah.
and I just need people to listen to it, especially new listeners.
It's the hardest
Mhm.
thing in the world, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Well,
how do I do it?
because music is like it's almost free, right? You pay your monthly subscription, you have
Yep.
every album you'd ever want
Yep.
at the touch of a finger.
Yep.
You have anything. So yeah, finding ways to capture people and get them to just give you just one song.
You
Like,
know what?
please, can you listen to a whole song? No. No,
And
they
do
can't.
and do it the right way too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the way that's like honest, like not
Yep.
the what's the new trend, what's the new POV dumb bullshit.
Yeah,
Let's put like a pot on our head and fucking somebody hit somebody in the head with it while they're playing a riff bullshit.
Hmm.
Like, doing it the real way where it's
Yeah.
like here's us, like it, hate it. I'd rather be judged that way than singing some dumb fucking cover and it not making sense and then people liking you and then they hear their music and you're like, oh, I don't like this. I'd rather
Yep.
find the people that are like, yeah, man, I want to take a chance on this because this is cool. That is really tough because like Mark said, music is essentially free. Attention spans are like in the toilet nowadays.
big
Like
time.
it's
Hmm.
insane. And I don't know if you pay attention to numbers or whatnot, but I guarantee you could look at your album right now and you could probably see it like go like this in terms of listens. It's like people can't get through a fucking record anymore. Another reason why EPs are good because it's like, but for me, like, in singles, people release too many fucking singles. For me, it's like I would rather be surprised with the record. You know what I mean? So if you're like giving me a single every month or something like that, you're killing the fucking vibe of the record for me. Because then I can't find the songs that I want to find. Where I'm listening, I'm going, holy shit, that's a fucking great tune. And another opinion I have many opinions, is I don't think every song's a fucking single. Like I think you're almost egotistical if you believe that. Like what
Big time.
what bands have fucking 8 singles? You know what I mean? And people think that's the new way because of attention spans. But I feel like the art, if you're gonna have an album, right? Like and you have vinyl, right? I want people to experience the vinyl. I want them to flip it over, look at the back. If you have inserts, like I want people to like learn as they're listening because that's how it used to be. Now everybody's got vinyl and blah 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 vinyl, but it's like, are you still experiencing the way you are? If you give me 8 singles on the internet before I even get your vinyl, you've just
Yeah,
killed the experience. You know what I mean? And I think bands need to think about that a little bit more. And it's sometimes I feel like we're slaves to what the industry tells us to be, and I see that a lot with the younger kids, which kind of makes me sad. I just wish you could be you and just put out your shit. And I know there's so much noise and everybody can put out stuff. And I think almost in a way that's a bad thing because you're not filtering the stuff that should get out there compared to the stuff where it's like, hey, good try, but like you need to work on stuff a little bit more. You know what I mean? And I think that's the hard thing. I think if people gave this record a chance, and I hope a lot of our listeners do, you know what I
Hope so.
mean? You know, like do something. Look, here, I'm going to give you a little advice, listeners. Put on some headphones, get some fucking cardio. Do a 40-minute walk like you're supposed to anyway to keep your shit together. And you can
yes,
get through this record in 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then you're listening to it walking around, let's do it on a gloomy day, right, Emilio?
Yes.
Let's get it on the over or at nighttime. Do it at night. Walk around your neighborhood at night, listen to this record, and I think when there's
Depends on
no
your neighborhood
and
there,
yeah,
though.
that's true too,
Yes.
yeah. But if there's
yeah,
no distractions
Yep.
and you're just listening to the music, like I want us to get back to there. You know what I mean? Because I mean, we don't listen to stuff long enough either. Me and
Hmm.
Mark have talked about this. Like when we were kids, you'd have an allowance or you'd do something to get money and you'd have to figure out what's the album I'm going to buy. It was like that. It was a big decision, right? You're like, because
yeah,
if I buy this and it sucks, I'm screwed for a week or two until I get money again. Or if I don't and I find something, great, but I'm going to listen to that record for a week or two unless you're trading tapes with your friends or whatever. Or the radio. the only way you're listening to music, you know,
Yeah.
and I feel like maybe there's records in our pasts that if we only listened to once or twice, we wouldn't get. But because we were forced to listen to it, it became something that grew on us and became like a record that could be in our DNA as one of our favorite records. You know what I mean? So listeners, listen to this record. Try it a couple times, man. I mean, it'll
Yeah.
grow on you. And when it does, you just found a cool new band, and then you start texting your friends and being like, dude, check this out. You can send the link,
Hmm.
you know, and I mean, I think I mean, the word of mouth to me nowadays is so much stronger than social media and algorithms and all that bullshit. It's like the word of
Yeah,
mouth's the way, dude. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know, and
Yeah.
if you're good enough, people will find you. And if you're good enough, people will want to send this to other people.
Yep.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I
Okay.
can't do the used car salesman thing and like pimp myself out. Like I just can't do it. Like I'll promote, but it's got to be on my terms and it's got to be something that makes sense for what we're doing. But like I just can't do like I can't beg people to listen to my shit.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Totally.
or like beg my other musician friends for favors and all that stuff. It's so icky to me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I yeah. So it's funny though, because like even some of my closest friends like still haven't listened to the record.
Really?
And it's like
But you know what though? Let me interrupt you for a second.
sure.
Because I'm a firm believer in this, and I will probably get shit for saying this on the podcast. I don't give a fuck. Like, you can be friends with somebody and not listen to their music or support them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just
Yeah.
want people, like, if you want to listen, great, but I don't want to feel like you need to be obliged to listen to my stuff because we've been friends for decades. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's a
So
good
don't feel so bad about that if you got really good friends that haven't even listened to the record yet. And the record's only been out, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
gosh, I'm so bad at it came out on the 27th, so less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
And that's so it's a brand new, right out of the oven thing, and
Yep.
you'll get that traction, and you're doing videos, which is smart too.
Very smart.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so
Get out
much
that way.
fun. I love to shoot videos. It's
Yeah.
just yeah, a little booze on the side helps loosen me up.
I mean,
But
hey,
yeah.
if you want, it's fine.
Speaking of which, Mark, I watched two of your music videos last night. I
Oh,
was going down the Way to the Tide rabbit hole,
wow.
and dude, the one for Man Out of Time is
Uh-huh.
so beautifully shot.
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, it's
That
incredible. Like it's the cinematography is so killer.
Yeah, he
Uh,
did a great job. Um, he was a Reno guy. He actually just moved to Vegas, but he's a young dude who just and like that storyline, all the B-roll stuff was all him. Like we just kind of told him what the song was sort of about, and then he did it. So thank you.
I very much like that. Oh, and I wanted to tell you two things. One, the intro riff for
Yes.
Memories Like Winter. Did
Uh-huh.
you write that riff?
No, Jess wrote that one. Yeah.
Dude, that riff is nasty.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
Jess has the nasty riffs for sure, man.
Yeah.
He's such a talented. So the intro music when you listen to the episode, if you listen to the episode, the intro music Jess produced.
Yep.
So
Oh, cool.
Mark wrote the main riff. I played the guitar solos. Um, Jess played the bass
And
and
drums.
drums.
Well, program the drums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and he mixed it and whatnot. We did that all in what, an hour or something like that?
Yeah.
Hour and a half or
Damn.
whatever. So yeah, you can
Yeah.
get a little idea of me as a guitar player, and you obviously know what Mark does and whatnot. But
Yeah.
but
I
J-
do. I do my thing.
but Jess
Cool.
Jess put it together though, man, and really
Yeah,
helped us out. I mean, good Lord, thanks Jess if you're listening.
absolutely. I think the coolest thing um is you've released like it's an album.
Yes,
I guess that's the thing about this new Dark Ride is that it feels like a record,
yeah,
and I'm
Okay.
listening to it on my phone, but it feels like, do you know what I mean? Like there's an album experience as opposed to like I'm just listening to tracks.
Yes.
Um, the flow is really good, like the sequencing is really good because it has a nice like wave you can ride. Um, like I said, you tie it together with that cover art, and she did a great job. So please give her my kudos for whatever the fuck that's worth. But great fucking job.
Thank you.
And
Thanks,
the
Mark.
videos tie in nice, like everything. You created this little package that absolutely has an audience.
Yes, and
Like
then you just got to
absolutely.
get the audience. That's the
Just
key.
got to get it. Just got to get them to get it in front of their eyes and ears, and then you'll be doing just fine. We'll
Yeah,
get you over
It's
to
hard.
Europe in no time.
yeah. And you'll
No
have
time.
merch to go
And you'll have
with,
merch.
and
Yes.
you'll
We'll
do
have
one more
merch.
than one show. So the
Yes.
plane ride will be
Absolutely.
worth it.
All right.
Yeah,
Quick lightning round questions.
sure. Oh wait, can I
Answer,
tell you something really quick before I forget?
please.
Sure.
Yeah.
While I've been going down the way of the tide rabbit hole,
Hmm.
something I love about your singing is I believe you. Like I believe what you're saying.
Wow.
Does that
Thank
make
you.
sense?
Yeah.
No, that's a huge compliment. Actually,
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't always know what I'm singing about, but I do mean it.
yeah. You
Um,
could tell that from a fucking mile away, man. It's
Yeah.
cool.
yeah,
Even if I didn't, if we weren't friends, like it doesn't matter. Like I would believe what that dude is saying.
That's
man,
awesome.
thank you.
Neat.
Yeah.
Jess and I both try really hard to be sincere without being like cunty about it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
like
I sense zero cuntiness.
overly, yeah, we were trying to zero cunts.
It's always good.
Yeah,
Good thing we got an R-rated show.
yeah, well,
I think it's the
I
first time
mean,
we dropped that word.
that is, yeah, it just kind of it just happened naturally
Yeah.
too. So that's the fun thing.
Yeah.
No, thank you, man. That means a lot to me
Fuck yeah.
because we really do. I try to be sincere without being overly earnest,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Okay, lightning round.
Okay.
Favorite Danzig album?
Ooh, Lucifuge, Danzig 2.
Okay, me too. Favorite Babyface, favorite heel?
Ooh, babyface of all time would have to be Razor Ramon.
Mm,
Heel. Oh man, that's tough. Hmm. Man, off the top of my head, I want to say Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 14 era when he fought Stone Cold with Mike Tyson.
hmm.
I think that prick kind of arrogant Shawn Michaels and DX was really good. That's off the
Yeah.
top of my head. The heel one's tough because there's so many good ones, Mark.
No, I know that the
Yeah.
heels are the best.
Yeah.
They really are.
Truly.
Okay. Favorite B horror film? Like underground, slept on classic.
Off the very top of my head, Frankenhooker. Does that count?
It does. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of a horror comedy, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but that's a fun one for sure. Okay. Favorite horror director?
Ooh. Fuck. I want to say maybe of the past, maybe Wes Craven because the OG Nightmare on Elm Street's my favorite. But still living, I love Mike Flanagan. All of the Flanagan
Yeah.
stuff, like Doctor Sleep and The Haunting of Hill House, so good.
Yes. No, I
Hopefully
agree.
he does good on the new Exorcist.
That's big shoes right
really,
there.
really scared
You
about
said
that.
it, brother. That is
That's
the
big
biggest
shoes.
That
Yeah.
I mean, they already fucked with that movie once and did a
Not so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, but I agree. I think he's great. I think he's great. Okay. I don't know. That's pretty much those were my lightning rounds off the top of my head.
That's simple enough.
It's simple
Yeah.
enough. Yeah.
No, I love that kind of question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say John Carpenter. John Carpenter is my favorite director.
Yeah.
Thank
How
you.
could I forget?
Yeah.
Well, Wes Craven, I totally yes, but
Yeah.
Carpenter's the goat.
Man, like
Hey,
just
let me ask this real quick. Did Wes Craven do that? And I just Serpent in the Rainbow?
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
That
movie's
movie
amazing.
scared the shit out of me when I was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah. We just watched that in October because Emily had never seen it.
Did it still
Oh,
hold up?
fun.
Still hold up?
And yeah, well for me, yeah, and
Yeah.
she seemed to enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like man, the vibes are really creepy and
Dude.
anything buried alive fucks me up.
Yes. And
I'm
and I
very
remember the
claustrophobic.
trailer. I still remember seeing the
Mhm.
trailer and being like, what in the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
movie.
Voodoo's scary.
It is.
Voodoo is scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe in that shit. It is scary.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what movie I love that I
Hmm.
just want to mention really quick. Hopefully you guys like it too. But Tremors with Kevin
Oh
Bacon.
yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
That's a perfect movie. Like the pacing, the
Hmm.
mojo, the chemistry. Holy shit! Like what
Yeah.
a great monster flick.
No, it's a good creature feature for sure, and
Yeah,
it's fun, and it's
it's
like
super fun.
it's the graboids are really cool, and yeah, no, we could. I mean, shit, we could.
Well, and the funny thing
This
about
is a whole rabbit hole.
well, yeah, and the funny thing about this too, like you guys are talking about these movies, and I don't know about you guys, but a lot of these movies I saw like on HBO or Showtime. I
Yeah,
didn't see. I mean, I saw it like Nightmare on Elm Street 3, I think, in the theaters.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But like most of the stuff that I saw horror wise, like Tremors, I saw on like probably HBO or Cinemax or Showtime.
Sure.
Like that's where I think a lot of these movies got a second life. When you hear about
Yeah.
certain movies that bomb in the theaters and become these cult classics, a lot of it was because cable television back in the '80s
Well,
and
and
early
video
'90s,
rentals,
and video
yes.
rentals for sure.
which ties us neatly right back into the aesthetic of our friend's band here.
Uh,
Yeah.
what what a
Yeah.
great conversation today,
Yeah.
man. Emilio,
Yeah. You guys are the best. And I
super.
would like to meet you in person sometime, Eric.
Yeah, we
It'd be
will. We'll
fun.
make that happen for sure. If you
Yes.
next time you pop in Reno, man, we'll make it happen for sure.
My
Um,
bass player and I have been talking about coming to visit Mark and Emily
Hmm.
for so long. And we are going to make it happen this year, I promise. But
Yeah.
maybe I'll get dinner or whatever. It'd be nice.
Absolutely. Yeah.
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 very-
Bring the band up. Play a show. Reno loves punk rock.
yes, yes,
That would be lovely.
They really do. I mean,
and there's the
yeah.
venues for it nowadays too.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing where like we've lost a lot of venues, like I'm sure you have too. But like in terms of if you're trying to get a punk rock hardcore show together in that vein, Reno
He's good.
comes out and supports it, and there's definitely at least 3 or 4 venues that you can get a show, no problem.
Yes.
Like
Perfect.
like
We'll
no
figure
problem.
it out.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, no, you're welcome anytime.
Thank
Now,
you, man. And
Of
you
course.
guys have come like with Kay too, like so many times, I feel like.
Hmm.
And we are long overdue.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're gonna fix that.
and
Yeah.
before you guys fix that, before the end of the show hits upon us, what do you, as much as you don't like promoting things, I'm going to put a gun in your head. You got to promote this because you're on our podcast, and we're really wanting your music to get out there. Promote everything real quick for the listeners, and we'll put in the show notes too. But promote
Yes.
everything for the listeners right now.
Sure. So Dark Ride is on every streaming platform. We're on YouTube. Our handle for all social media is Dark Ride SC. Pretty easy to find.
And
Okay.
and if I
Where do
want
they
to
get
get
the vinyl?
vinyl, yeah, see, you're in my mind.
So the vinyl, all the copies for the US are sold out.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So they
That's
they
great.
sold out the right before it was actually released. Luckily, so I still have about 100 left for our live shows.
Okay.
And hopefully Fiend Force will do another pressing. I would like to do a different color, like a variant, but we'll see. Everything's so
Yeah.
topsy turvy in the world right now. We'll see. Everything's
You
so
don't say.
expensive. Yeah, exactly.
That's
But
awesome though, man. Congrats on selling out
yeah.
that fast. Good
thank you.
Lord.
That's
Thank you.
amazing. Good
That
for
is
you.
amazing for sure.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Well, dude, it's been an absolute. It's always great seeing you, but it's been really cool to get to have you on and talk about music like for real. And I really, really sincerely hope that people push the buttons and go out and listen to the whole album because you guys did a good thing. You guys did a
Yes.
really
Thank you.
cool thing.
Thank you
100,
so much, Mark. Thank you, Eric.
100%.
And you
Yeah.
know what we do as musicians makes people happy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing to me. We have an important job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and once you release something, my friend, and this is the thing I love still, like hopefully it doesn't change in the future, but once you release something, like it's out there forever.
Yep.
It's
Forever.
like, people can find it, however they find it. And I think that's a really important thing that we have those abilities still to put our feelings onto something and then just release it out there. So I think that's
Yep.
a wonderful thing when anybody listening that's a musician, anybody, when you put together something and you release it out into the wild, like that's an enormous accomplishment. Because there's a lot of bands
Yes.
that never get to the finish line. Even like big bands, like the record just doesn't get to the end. They break up and it just never sees the light of day. So anytime you can release something or whatever, You know, it's a beautiful thing because it's out there for anybody to find whenever. I mean, it's crazy how people find things 10, 20, 30, 40 years later. Like a lot of my younger students, they're like, "Hey, tell me about like Alice in Chains Dirt and like what was it like in the 90s when these bands are." I'm like, "See, that's cool." You know what I mean?
It
And
was
then
badass.
they'll dive deeper and then they start find like why didn't this band, you know, because we have a segment like on our shows like saying why wasn't this album huge? And it's one of those things we like giving back to like hopefully help our listeners find these records that we think are great that just never hit, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you can find them, which is the one good thing I like about music on the internet. There's a lot of
Yes.
Me too.
cons against it, but finding stuff I think is awesome. It's like a virtual record store. We're just missing the record store guy.
Well,
We
and the
need that
band's getting
back.
paid.
Well, and yeah, bands getting paid's another one. Yeah, Jesus, don't get me started on that.
That'd be nice.
Wouldn't it?
But either way,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
a pipe dream.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
Emilio, very nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on the show, my friend. And we
You
will
too.
definitely have you on again, my friend.
Hmm.
Okay, thank you, Eric and Mark.
Oh no, he froze again.
Well, another great conversation. What a cool
Yeah.
dude, man. I mean, I've never
Yeah,
met him
man.
before, but just such a inviting, awesome dude. And I love hearing stories. You know, he's one of our younger guests. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's cool hearing about that time period, like the early aughts,
Yeah.
you know, and what influenced him and you know, that whole lifer mentality, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's cool and you know, to see where what he talked about and then taking it all the way to Dark Ride,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you know, I wish him nothing but the best because he's aligned to make things happen as long as people hear the stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I think the cool thing about it is like obviously we're like actual friends, but um this is like a legitimately good record
Yeah,
and it's good stuff. And like
produced well.
yeah, and he's doing it like it's coming from a very like real pure place.
Oh, you can hear
And
that. You can hear that within the first song.
yeah, it's very sincere. You can
Yeah,
tell. This
100%.
is this is exactly what this group of people wants to make.
Yes,
And like I said, the packaging is all the boxes are kind of ticked by this record
yes,
for this genre or whatever you want to call it style. Like what's not to like? It's perfect. And even as someone, as I openly said, like I'm not an aficionado in this area at all. It's a really good record.
yes.
Like it really is. And I don't mean to have as much surprising tone in my voice. How terrible. Sorry, buddy. I didn't mean it that way. No, I would encourage anybody who does enjoy like I don't know AFI Misfits, like Bay Area punk rock and horror punk. Like you need to listen to this album.
Yeah, because it's like it's right in that wheelhouse for you.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And even if it's not in the wheelhouse for you, it's catchy enough that you could dig it.
No, even if you just like good old fashioned, like almost some of the like darker hair metal stuff, this isn't that far away from that.
No, it's not. It's really not. And it's you know it's very. I don't know. I mean, I hate to use the word accessible, but like
I think
it's
it is.
it's very accessible. Like in terms
Yeah.
of I don't know. Like if somebody was playing, let's put it this way. Here's my thing. If someone's playing this in the car with me, I'm not asking them to change.
No,
And I think and that's huge. Like I'm not saying,
no,
"Hey, dude, can you turn this off and put something else on?"
no. It's
Because like
more like, hey, who is this?
exactly, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. And then that's when and that's the thing with the Google machine. You can
Hmm.
go and learn more. And I think,
Well, I got Shazam on my Apple Watch. I can just push a button. You
oh, you
wouldn't
got
even
on your
know.
watch? That's
Yeah,
hysterical.
yeah. So
I
I can just hit it and then it'll tell me.
dude, I use that all the time. It seems
It's
like.
the best.
I will tell you this
Um,
though, it's not accurate at times,
Sometimes. Yeah.
which surprised me. I heard some really cool like jazz fusion thing on like the local radio station, right? Because
Mm.
my car, nothing works on it anymore. The radio does. That's about it. Like including driving it. And I was like, "What the hell is this? This is kind of rad." So my
Mm.
kid's in the car with me. I'm like, "Shazam this shit," you know? And he Shazams it, and I'm like, "Okay." And then I go to, you know, I go to Spotify to like check more stuff out. Yeah, not even close to the same band.
Interesting.
Not even right at all in terms of the song.
Hmm.
Like they just picked the fucking song out of Blue Air and was like, yeah, this is what we think this should be.
Right.
It was
Could be.
really it was the first time that's happened. I was like, whoa, that's kind of weird. You know what I
That is
mean?
weird. Huh.
You know,
I've
I
had it be stumped
yes, I've had that happen quite a bit
where
too.
it's just like, I don't know.
I don't know what this is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
But that won't happen if you're listening to Dark Ride.
Right.
So,
And it just came out, man. So it's
yep,
fresh right out of the oven. So check it
that's
out,
right.
man.
Go get you
Um,
some.
yes. So, what are you listening to this week?
Well, interestingly enough, I have been listening to the album we've been discussing a lot, but since you're asking, I would say, okay. So I've been listening to The Devil You Know by Heaven and Hell.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Um, I I listen with That's Not Metal, right? The podcast.
Yeah.
That's Not Metal. They did one of their album packs.
Yeah.
They did Heaven and Hell, the Devil You Know.
Oh, when did he do
And
this? I gotta listen to that.
just a couple weeks ago.
Okay, I gotta check that out.
Um, I hadn't heard the album probably since right around when it came out, and I
Uh-huh.
remember liking it, but then I just kind of lost track of it.
Sure.
Um, it's fucking ridiculously good.
Yeah.
It's the best guitar tone Tony Iommi's ever had.
I don't disagree with you.
And Dio, I mean, he was dead like a year later,
I know the
and
stomach
he
cancer was
sounds,
doing its thing.
God, he sounds incredible. Being such a huge Dio Sabbath fan, I'm a little ashamed. I'd forgotten how good this record is. It's
Sure.
amazing. It's
Sure.
absolutely amazing.
I also love how they called it Heaven and Hell too.
Well, they had to work it out with Sharon, and
Oh, is that the
that's,
thing?
mhm.
Because I always
Well,
felt,
because Sabbath had just released 13, like
oh yeah,
right before that, and
or
it was
right
like,
around there.
no, you
Well,
can't do that.
I,
So,
I mean, they're really two different bands if you really do
oh,
think about it,
entirely.
though. I mean, that's one of those
Yeah.
things where it's like, and I know you have to call it Black Sabbath because that's what gets people's ears on it
Mhm.
more, but like they're really a different band. I mean, once
Well, the whole
once,
approach, like the riff style, certainly Ronnie's approach versus Ozzy's approach are
yeah,
totally different animals.
and then you get Vinny in, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So the drumming changes. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah.
just so much. There's so much to it that people don't get. I mean, it is
Yeah,
really a different band.
it
Um,
is. And I also think that this version smokes that last Black Sabbath album,
yes, I
like by a long
I'll
ways.
be honest with you, man. Going the Rick Rubin route
Wrong thing.
was a colossal mistake.
Wrong thing, wrong drummer.
Oh, 100%. 100. I mean, dude, if you're going to do it and do it right, just bring Bill back in. I mean, Bill
Yep.
could play in the studio. He could.
Absolutely.
It's that there was too much bitterness and stupidness in that
Hmm.
time period, and it's like they're losing the focus of what does everybody want? They want the original four back together if you're going to do a record.
Well, it's like why they finally did it.
Yes.
We're back to the beginning because, like, if
Yes.
they hadn't, it would have been wrong.
I completely agree.
And
100%.
watching the footage I did, it was like, Jesus Christ, that is Black Sabbath.
It is. There's just
You
something
know?
about the four of those guys together in a room.
Yeah.
I got an interesting one for you.
Yeah.
It's not an album.
Okay.
It's a playlist.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to preface it this way. I think Buckethead's a genius,
Fair
but
enough.
Buckethead's like Zappa for me.
Hmm.
There's a lot of Zappa I cannot stand, but when I find the right Zappa, I dig it. And Buckethead's the
Okay.
same way for me. There's a lot of stuff where I'm like, yeah, I just don't get this. And how I like Buckethead is I like Buckethead when he's playing slow stuff.
Okay.
It's really interesting. So I'm going to throw some love to, this sounds so funny, K Mud 2013. He made this amazing playlist called Slow Buckethead. I just typed in slow Buckethead songs. This playlist comes out. It's got 316 songs because Buckethead like releases 600 albums like a year.
Sure.
It's 36 hours long. I have not gotten anywhere into 36 hours of this, but
Sure.
man, there's some real cool shit. And you can tell a lot of it is just, he's just doing it at home. Like
Yeah.
I do my instrumental music, I just do it on my Mac and whatnot. But there's a lot of smart stuff on this record, not record, this playlist. And if you've been curious about Buckethead, if you only know Buckethead from the Guns N' Roses stuff, if you know Buckethead through Les Claypool and the stuff he does with Claypool or like Bootsy, um,
Yeah.
if you want to get into it but you don't know how to, I think this is a very cool way to dip you know your foot in the pool. Like, so
Okay.
not diving in head first and going, this, I don't get this guy, and that's the end of it. Like, I think this is a good way for you to go, yeah, this is kind of rad. Like, I'm into this. Like, I dig this. So,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah. So check it out, folks. It's called Slow Buckethead. It's a playlist I found on Spotify. K Mud 2013. It's got 316 songs. It's 36 hours and 53 minutes long. But this is definitely an album I will just maybe even just hit like, random on.
Yeah.
And
Shuffle it.
just when I go take walks or I go ride my bike, like it's kind of almost perfect music. You know what I
Nice.
mean? It's rad. So that's my recommendation.
Very
Anything
cool.
you want to add before we get out of here, my friend?
I don't think so. I think today was really fun.
It was absolutely fun. And much love to Emilio, just a great
Yes.
dude. I always love having conversations with people that are energetic about what they do.
Hmm.
And just, I don't know, it's just cool. I mean, it's not a genre I know a lot about, and it was fun to learn more
Yeah.
about it today.
Yeah, for
You know what I
sure.
mean? But like I
No, it
did
was
listen to the
killer.
record a couple times, and everything that
Mhm.
you guys talked about, I completely agreed with.
Yeah.
I definitely got that horror vibe, gothy vibe from listening, and
Yep.
there was lyrics I was catching and stuff. I was like, oh, that's smart. That's kind of cool. Vocals were
Yeah.
great. It's worth the listen. And
Definitely.
so check
Definitely.
it out. And like I say at the end of every episode, be good to yourselves, be good to others. Text a friend, see how they're doing, and tell them you found a great new podcast called Mixtapes.